Good afternoon, welcome to Empower Today. I hope that you've had a great Monday morning and that you're feeling hopeful for all that God has for you this week and that you are trusting Jesus, the bread of life. My wife made me this mask when the crisis began. It's an Arsenal mask, as you can tell. She made masks for everyone in our family, and she's got lots of them as she's working in a hospital, and she needs them several times a day. She wears one around the house all the time now, and we were out gardening yesterday, chatting to our neighbours over the fence, and Jo was explaining to them how she has to wear this mask. She said, I felt a bit strange to begin with, but I don't now. I remember one time Jo came back from shopping and said that this lady had looked at her with her mask on in the shopping aisle with what verged on disgust, because why are you wearing that? What's wrong with you? And Jo said to me, the point is that I'm trying to protect others in case I've got anything that could affect them. First time I wore this mask into one of the food shops, I felt a bit aware of it, and then I thought, well, people might just look at me strangely because it's an Arsenal one rather than anything else. But now, I'm used to wearing the mask when I go out. It's something that I put on as just part of who I am. And it reminded me that we can get used to wearing masks in life all the time, can't we? It may not be physical ones like this. Your mask might be your job. Hi, my name's Bob and I'm a doctor. And now maybe those jobs have been taken away, or we're on furlough, or we're not able to do them to the full extent that we were. We wonder just how sturdy that mask was. Maybe our mask was our fitness regime and that's been limited. Maybe our mask was the rugby club that we were part of, and now that's gone. There are so many masks we can wear where we put on a different persona to the person who we really are. And don't get me wrong, sometimes we need to do that. Sometimes we need to just shift, accentuate different parts of ourselves depending on the people that we're around. If we're at a funeral, it's probably not right to say some of the jokes that we might say after a cricket match. But sometimes those masks can define who we are. And then those masks can become exhausting. Oh yeah, I'm the spiritual one in this context. I must pretend to do that. Oh, I'm the happy one in this context. Everything's fine. Oh, I'm the deep one in this context. Oh, I'm the one who has all the answers. Oh, I'm the one who everyone looks to. So many masks that we can end up wearing, and we can end up losing who we really are. In the Bible, there's a book called James in the New Testament. Martin Luther, hundreds of years ago, said it's a right strawy epistle. I think by that he meant it doesn't hold back in what it's saying. It's fairly blunt. And in chapter 4, verse 14, James writes these words: "Why, you do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes." That morning mist can appear so thick and dense, can't it, when we get up for work or school? But by the time we've had our breakfast, got dressed, had a shower in the opposite order, that mist is gone. And James says some very uncomfortable words there, doesn't he? That our lives are like that mist. I think we've grown used to thinking that we should all die at the age of 96 in our sleep in our country. That we see it almost as a divine right that we should all live into ripe old age. Whilst other countries around the world, well, it's just how it is with them that their average age of death is late 30s, early 40s. This crisis has reminded us that life is but a mist. Here one moment and gone the next. So my question for me, and maybe for you, is why bother wearing masks? Can I challenge you, as I challenge myself, to continue that search into discovering who the real you is? The real you is loved by God. The masked you is loved by God, but the mask can get in the way of us experiencing that love. I've shared a story in sermons here so often that some of you could probably repeat this word for word. But when I was on a sabbatical, that's a break for 3 months from work as a minister many years ago, I went to Martha's Vineyard where they filmed the film Jaws. And I went there to see the places where it was filmed. But as I was walking along one road with the beach and the sea on my left and the mist descending down on me and a drizzle of rain, I heard God say in my mind, "You have nothing to prove." And I said in my prayer, "Yeah, I know, God, I have nothing to prove." And I felt God say again in my mind, "No, Neil, you have nothing to prove." "Yeah, I know that, God." "No, you have nothing to prove to your church. You have nothing to prove to your family. You have nothing to prove to yourself. And you have nothing to prove to me." Those words cut me in half. And I wept for about half an hour as I walked in the mist and the rain in Martha's Vineyard. God had taken me by surprise, and it reminded me that I had nothing to prove to him, to myself, to my family, to my church, that I was loved for who I was. That moment over 7 years ago changed my life and strengthened my foundation in my relationship with God. It's not that I don't care that I do a good job or I'm a loving parent and father, but I have nothing to prove. And I have to remind myself that, as I'm sometimes tempted to put on some of the masks that are there for me in life. If our life is but a mist, it's too short, isn't it, to waste time in masks? I have nothing to prove, and neither do you. You are loved completely by God. Bless you and stay safe.